Hi everyone. So I had an Empties video that I recorded back in March before the baby was born, baby number 3. And I had it scheduled to go live this past weekend, and then I realized that the file had gotten cut off when it was exporting, and unfortunately I had deleted the original video file that I made that video from. So I figured I have some more Empties to talk about, so I would just go over the ones that got cut off from that original video and include the new Empties. So I'm just going to get into it because I have a pretty large pile of stuff here. So I think I'll just do skincare first. This is the Ahava Dead Sea Crystal Osmoter X6 Facial Serum. So this has jojoba oil along with a bunch of other stuff. It smells really good. It's expensive. I got this for half price, I believe, during a holiday sale. And so that took it down to like $35, which was a lot more reasonable. When I was pregnant, my skin was super dry and I just like really slathered this on. So I actually went through it at the beginning pretty slowly, but towards the end I just was putting way more than a couple drops. It was probably like 5 or 6, 7 drops just because my face was like really soaking it in. I like it. I really like the smell, but I don't know that it's necessarily worth the money. And I do wonder if there are potentially some irritating ingredients in there that make it smell so nice. So I probably won't be repurchasing it, though I do have a little tiny like deluxe sample size left of it, so I'll probably use that as well. And I believe I've used at least one deluxe sample of this before in the past, which is why I had bought the full size. So there's that. Another serum. This is the Paula's Choice Resist Super Antioxidant Concentrate Serum. For normal to dry skin. It also has vitamin C. So I really like this, but I think it's too heavy for my skin when I'm not pregnant, basically. My skin just got so dry when I was pregnant, and it's never been that dry before, and it probably won't be any time in the near future. But it did have, if you've tried some of the Paula's Choice's antioxidant serums in the past, some of them have a very silicone-y, like Smashbox photo finish primer type consistency. This one does not. It feels almost like it's an oil serum, but it's kind of thick, and it just feels so nice when it's going on. And I trust that Paula's Choice has good ingredients that aren't going to irritate my face, so that's why I enjoyed that one so much. So if my skin gets dry enough to use it again, I would definitely repurchase it. I got this Embryolisse Lait Creme Concentrate quite some time ago, and this is in the like metal tube. And mine actually, once I was gonna start folding it down in order to get the last bits out, and the tube itself actually split a little right there, and so I couldn't roll it down, which was disappointing. Surprisingly, even Paula's Choice, if you didn't know, they have this Beautypedia thing, and they review products, and they're basing it on, you know, what ingredients have clinical research saying that they work, things that are beneficial for your skin. Do they have irritants? So they approach things in a very scientific way, which I really appreciate. They're not super enthused with this moisturizer, and it's gotten a lot of hype because Pixi use it have talked about this, used it in their videos for a really long time. And I tried it out just kind of on a whim, and it does have a bit of fragrance in it, which is not my favorite thing. But this sits on my face so nicely. And I have dermatitis underneath my lip and around my nose, which will cause my skin, especially if I'm using stuff that irritates it or just makes it kind of flare up, and it will just peel constantly. And this stuff really calms that area down, surprisingly, and it makes so makeup doesn't like get all cracked and crumbly and dry on those areas, and it's really good stuff. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to repurchase it, just because I really leaned on this more when my skin was extra dry. So maybe you know, since we're going into warmer months, I'll see how the dry areas are doing. I feel like my skin kind of got a little bit more oily, but it's still pretty dry. I am nursing, so I'm sure there's different hormones and whatnot that don't really kind of go back to normal until you're not nursing. So we'll see. But I would definitely consider repurchasing it just because it was so kind to my dry areas and worked really well under makeup. And I've definitely had challenges getting different things to work well under makeup that keep my skin moisturized but don't cause my foundation to do weird things. Another moisturizer I really enjoy and bought in the full size is the CeraVe Eye Repair Cream. And I've had a couple deluxe samples of this, and this came with a face wash, probably the hydrating face wash. And there is something about this. I love the texture of it. It's fairly thick when it comes out of the tube, but if you just like rub it between your fingers, it quickly kind of starts breaking down into a little bit thinner of a consistency, and it just like sinks in so nicely. And my under eyes have been just really out of whack with the dry skin of pregnancy and all that. And so I feel like it soaks in under my eyes well. It doesn't cause my concealer to be extra creasy. And I also actually like to use it in the dermatitis areas and the dry areas and whatnot, which is kind of a pricey way of going about it just because this is only, the full size is only half an ounce in the tube, and it's, I don't know, maybe $15, something like that. But I really enjoy the texture of it, and it just seems to sit really nicely on my skin. It doesn't irritate those dermatitis spots and whatnot. Okay, so the Bite Agave Lip Mask. I got this little size in a set, and there's probably a little tiny bit left in the top up here. So this is very lanolin heavy. And lanolin is something that my lips respond very well to. They seem to do better with a lanolin product versus a petroleum product like Aquaphor or something like that. But the downside to this, I like the thickness and I like how it goes on, and it lasts pretty well. I usually, if I put it on at night, in the morning, I still have a little bit of something left. But there's a point like an hour, maybe 2 hours after I've applied this where my lips feel kind of numb. And that's why I had bought the full size of this years ago and returned it because I didn't like that kind of numb feeling it gave me. And since I've been using this only at night, I didn't notice the numbness and I thought that it had gone away, but it's just that I was normally sleeping during the time when it happens. Now that I've been up with the baby, feeding him, I've noticed the numbness, definitely, and it's just not a pleasant feeling, and it makes me wonder what is in this product that's making my lips feel kind of numb, so I probably will not be repurchasing it due to that. Last skincare item, Paula's Choice Resist Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense SPF 30. This I have purchased several times, and I also just repurchased. If you have oily skin, this I think is one of the best, perhaps the best SPF to wear on the daily to keep your foundation on your face. If you have normal to dry skin, this can be extremely drying feeling and uncomfortable. So in order to use this right now, I do have to really moisturize well, but it smooths out your pores a little bit. It does have a tiny bit of a tint, but even with me, I don't think that it's noticeable after it's been blended on my face. I love how this wears under makeup. I love how makeup wears on top of this. There we go. It's just, I get the best results out of a lot of my foundations if I wear this underneath, and it's kind of like a primer almost, and it's a mineral based SPF, so that's also really nice. I don't know, I just love it a lot, and it's one of those products that if you have oily skin, I just feel like everybody should try, because it's made such a difference for me in foundation wearing. And even where my skin's drier, I just want to wear it because foundation works so nicely on top of it. But I do really have to prep well, or it will definitely feel drying. So let's see. Hear the thunder? This is a weird weather day. It's very dark outside. It's been pouring rain, and it was kind of snowy earlier. It's just strange. This has been a long, strange winter in Connecticut and elsewhere. Okay, so I need to get rid of this because it like leaked in my little Empties bag. This thing is just, ugh. So it's the Boscia White Charcoal Mattifying Makeup Setting Spray. I've had this for a long time. I got it as, I'm pretty sure it was like a promo code with Sephora, and I did not find it mattified. This was back in the days where I had much oilier skin and I was looking for extra mattification because my face got oily so fast. So I definitely would not be looking to use this anytime in the near future, but it had just been like lingering in my collection for a long time. I found that even if I shook it really, really well, if I wasn't careful, sometimes I'd end up with a little kind of white dots from the white charcoal stuff in here. When it leaked, it leaked out and then dried and left kind of a crusty white stuff. So I never found anything to actually mattify as far as setting sprays go on my T-zone when I was oily. So this didn't really work, and it didn't perform very well, like finish-wise. So yeah. Getting rid of that finally. Something that I got in my Target beauty box was it was just one single wipe of the Sonia Kashuk Quick Dry Makeup Brush Wipe. So this is after they relaunched the brand and got rid of all the makeup, all the old brushes, all the old stuff, and brought in new things, and this is one of the new things. So I don't remember what scent it has, but it has a pretty strong fragrance to it, which I am not a fan of. And I did appreciate that I could do more than one eye brush on the wipe. I think I probably got 4 or 5 eye brushes cleaned with the wipe. Normally what I use to spot clean my brushes is the MAC brush cleanser. I've used up probably 4 of these, 5 of these, I don't know, a lot. I like it. I don't mind the fragrance. It's pretty mild and it works really well. And actually I probably just stuck it in my Back to MAC bag, but I did finish one of these very recently. I continue to buy it because it just works so nicely. In the past, I've also just like took some out of here and put it into a spray bottle, and then I just spray a paper towel and, you know, swirl my brush around. I find that if I spot clean after every use of my eye brushes, it will completely clean them, and they will be as clean as if I had washed them. So really like that. This worked, I think, similarly. I imagine it's probably more expensive because you're getting not only like the solution, but also the you know, kind of a towel type thing that you're cleaning it on. But I imagine for travel, this would be a really nice solution. So you're not having to bring some sort of spot cleaning thing. You don't have to like soap and water wash your brushes. So I imagine that there is a case where this would be super handy. But because of the scent in this, I probably, even thinking about that, I probably wouldn't buy it. Kind of in the cleanser vein of things, the MAC Pro Eye Makeup Remover. I got a little sample size of this, deluxe sample, from probably ordering something on their website. And I really liked the bottle it came in. It's like the little mini pigment bottle size, and the hole was completely open. So I could actually just dip my Q-tip in there and use this primarily after I take a shower and wash my face, to wash off the makeup, to kind of clean up any of the remaining like mascara or eyeliner that was around my eyes. So I actually really like the size of this, and I will probably just put a different makeup remover inside this little bottle. I liked the formula. I found it worked really well for me, and if I had the chance to get another sample of it, I would, but I don't know that I would necessarily buy it. because I'm not super excited about paying higher end prices for a makeup remover. But that being said, I'm almost out of my Sephora eye makeup remover, and I don't know what I'm going to buy after that. e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. So I went through this really fast. It's 2 ounces, and I believe it's $4 maybe for this bottle. You can get a 6-ounce size, I believe, from e.l.f.'s website, but as far as I know, they don't sell that size in store. I feel like I went through it really fast. I used a lot in order to get that kind of dewy finish that I like, and I didn't love the smell, but I didn't hate the smell either. Like, it didn't bother me. Again, Paula's Choice has reviewed this one well. They don't like much for setting sprays. Fix Plus, Too Faced Hangover RX, and the e.l.f. Spray, as I recall, are pretty much the only setting sprays. Maybe the Makeup Forever one as well. So there are very few setting sprays that don't have alcohol, and alcohol is an irritating ingredient. And so I just try to stay away from it. And so Paula's Choice also does not like most setting sprays because they have alcohol and fragrance and other irritating ingredients in them. So anyway, this is one that they like, and it's very affordable, but I don't really like it all that much, so I haven't repurchased it. I have the Too Faced and Fix Plus currently that I'm using. I'm just kind of switching off between them. Though once my face does get oilier again, I may go back to the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix, because I feel like that actually prolongs my makeup wear, as the Too Faced maybe helps a little bit, but you know, Fix Plus obviously doesn't. So I don't know. I don't know if the e.l.f. did or not. Again, I was using it when my skin was really dry, so I was mainly using it for how it kind of helps highlighter like really shine and look a little bit smoother, and just kind of take away any sort of dry looking areas on my face. So it worked well for that, but I don't know how well it would work for actually prolonging the wear of my makeup. All right, so makeup stuff, a few things I'm throwing away because they are just dried out and crusty. So at the very end of the video where it got cut off, I was talking about this NYX lip liner in Vanilla Sky, and it just totally dried out. There's a little crack in the cap, and I think that was the reason it dried out. It's a fairly nice light nude shade, so if you are looking for something, I didn't love the formula on this one. And I don't use a ton of lip liners. I have a lot of lip liners. I always think maybe I'm going to use them more than I actually do. And yeah, so this one's kind of like, eh. I'm not heartbroken, to say the least, because it just sat in my drawer and dried out. And I wasn't trying to use it. So another thing that's just not performing very well anymore is this MAC brow set, and this one is in Show Off. I don't know that they make this anymore. I'm not sure. So this formula has a little bit of a shimmer. It's a bit warmer of a brown than I like, and it has a much bigger spoolie. I just find it kind of difficult to keep it from getting on the hair that are around my eyebrows. You know, if I was really meticulous, I would like shave off everything around my brows so it wouldn't be as much of a problem. But I'm not. So something like this with such a big spoolie wand, it just doesn't work very well for me. The color was okay, but it wasn't great. It didn't have the best hold, you know, it just wasn't my favorite formula, and I don't think it even exists anymore. So I definitely would not repurchase it, but it's something I bought quite some time ago. So it's just time to go. This is one I would like to use, but something is wrong with the packaging. It's the MAC False Lashes Extreme Black little sample size that I got through their website. I got very angry one morning trying to pull this out of the tube, and the tube is too small. It will not come out. I really tried, and it won't come out. So that's kind of a bummer. So that's obviously going in the trash. Another thing that has dried out, this Pixi dual-ended pencil. One side was like a waterproof liner and the other side was their silky eye pen. Both of these, I did not use this much of these. This was on clearance when I got it, It was already kind of dried out when I bought it, but I kept trying to make it work. I used it periodically, but it just got drier and drier and drier, and now it's completely not usable, so that's going in the trash. I do like the Endless Silky Eye Pen formula, and I had a trio that I bought during the holiday time, I think, when I got it a little bit discounted at Target, and I really enjoy how nice those glide on. They go on to my waterline area really nicely, and it's a really lovely formula. So I think this was just poor packaging. Maybelline Vivid Hot Lacquer, and this is in Unreal. I didn't like the smell of these when it was fresh, and then it turned, and now it smells much, much worse. So, yeah, I don't like the smell of these. Otherwise, they're a very nice formula, and they have a pretty good amount of pigment to them so that they're not fully opaque, but they're right up there. You know, it's definitely like medium coverage, creamy lip gloss. So really pretty. If you don't mind the scent, I would definitely recommend it, though it is kind of disturbing how quickly these turned on me. I definitely have older glosses that have not changed in smell or consistency, and so it's kind of disappointing that that turned so fast. I've got a couple mascaras to talk about that are somewhat similar. I've got the L'Oreal Lash Paradise and a deluxe sample of the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. So I would say that I like Lash Paradise, but there are a variety of things that kind of bug me about it. When I first get it, I don't love it. After it's maybe a week old, it starts working really nicely for me. And then at like a month, it will start getting really difficult to use. And I found with this one, I just left it alone for a while. When I went back to it, all of a sudden it didn't feel as dry and clumpy anymore. And I actually got another month or two use out of it, which is nice. But I feel like it's just very unpredictable. So that I don't like that. I continue to buy it because I do like the effect it gives me. I like kind of a chunky, high volume lash, and I have pretty low maintenance lashes in general. I don't have a big list of requirements that a mascara needs to do for me. So this works well for me. And I can wear it on my lower lashes without an issue. It's a rare mascara that I have that I can't wear on my lower lashes though, so I don't have smudging issues in general. But I just feel like I never know what I'm gonna get. Some days it seems to work well, and other days I really struggle with it. This gives me a very similar effect, the Better Than Sex mascara. And I considered picking one up during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty when it was on sale, but I decided that even at like $10, it just wasn't worth it. My major complaint with this is a lot more consistent, and I feel like I can get a lot more uses easily out of this formula. My complaint is that it doesn't remove as easily. So with this, when I take a shower and wash my face, it will come off completely cleanly. This will usually leave a little bit of residue around my eyes, which kind of bugs me, that I have to then go clean up when I have something like a variety of drugstore options that wash away cleanly on the first go. And that's something that I also have happen with the Urban Decay Perversion mascara, which is also a formula. I really enjoy how it goes on my lashes, but dislike how it removes. And last but not least is my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer pencil, and this is in Dark Brunette. I don't have enough for an actual application, but I do have a little bit left for a swatch. So it's a very, very cool brown. It's kind of a gray brown, and I really enjoy the color of this. Some days I feel like it looks a little too dark for me. So I would say that after I got this, I almost exclusively used it, though I have since repurchased it, and I'm starting to find days where I don't love the way it looks. So I don't know if the love affair is over or what, but I do really like it. I feel like it wears pretty well. The spoolie on this is fairly soft. I recently got a ColourPop pencil, and the spoolie on that one is so rough and scratchy. So I'm appreciating the softer spoolie on that L'Oreal pencil. If you like a very, very cool brown, I feel like that's an awesome option. The price is really good too. It's cheaper than the NYX Micro Brow, and it's not quite as cheap as the ColourPop, which is I think $5 or $6. And I went through and compared all the different brow pencil options, they all have the same amount of product in those little skinny pencils. So you can really easily compare how much each one costs. You know, you're not having to adjust for the amount of product that comes in it. So even something like Brow Wiz, you get the same amount of product in the L'Oreal pencil. So I think it's a really awesome option at the drugstore. It's only, I think, $8 or $9, and it is totally worth it. And yeah, I probably will continue to repurchase it, though I may try a different shade. What I recall, though, they have a very limited shade range, maybe 3 colors. So I don't know if the next step up would be too warm. Because I'm so fair, things tend to go very, very warm on my face. So that's why I really appreciated how super cool brown that pencil is. So anyway, that's it. In case you were wondering, the baby was born. He's 3.5 weeks. He'll be 4 weeks here on Wednesday, I believe. And he's doing well, and he's a big guy. He has a really big head. My first kiddo also has a huge head. So I think he seems to be, my second is not the same as the first. And I think number 3 and number 1 are probably going to be similarly shaped. I feel like their faces seem kind of similar, so yeah, it's pretty funny to see these little things, you know. Well, we can only see what happens as he gets older, but he's doing really well. His name is Jack, and yeah, things are going well. He's, you know, sleeping as much as you might expect a newborn to sleep. Occasionally he'll have a 4-hour chunk overnight or 4-hour chunk during the day, but usually his naps are 2 or 3 hours. Sometimes it's 45 minutes, you know, newborn life, right? They're very unpredictable. So, but I would say all things being equal, he's doing really well. He's sleeping very well. Everything is going good. My husband does go back to work in this week. So I imagine that recording videos may kind of take a hit. Because it's just my 4-year-old's at school, but the 2-year-old is at home, and with a newborn and conflicting schedules and not getting much sleep at night. Yeah, I'm probably going to go through a phase where I just don't have much time or energy, but we'll see. Who knows? I seem to be willing to take the time to put on my makeup, and you know, hopefully we'll also want to take the time to record a video here and there when I can. So if you have any ideas for like kind of shorter videos, please let me know. I would love to hear those, because I tend to make really long rambly videos and then they take a while to edit and upload and all that. So I definitely would like to try to find some more like shorter videos that I could do, especially when I'm going to have less time. So if you have any recommendations, requests, that kind of thing, I would love to hear those. So anyway, I'm going to get going because I am just rambling now. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you soon.